Violence in this industry is far beyond the control of the administrators.
We have a situation in Mangwane, Garankuwa, and Winterfeld where certain streets have been blocked with burning objects and tires.
Ayikho into enzima njengokuthi ushiwe uma ngale ndlela ahamba ngayo. Ipain engasezwe ngayikhohle.
Our involvement as a taxi industry is to give service. And when you're giving service, you don't engage yourself, you don't even threaten the people you are servicing. We've got places which we believe that very recently, within the less than a month, have become the so-called violent areas in the taxi industry, which is the Western Cape, Gauteng. That's where you had a lot of violence, and you had your KwaZulu-Natal also. But if I had to go back to you and say to you that one has to ask yourself, remember that there was actually savage kind of violence during the time of apartheid in the taxi industry, and also just after the dawn of democracy around 1994, 96. And what made violence to subside, and why suddenly such a new scourge of violence in the taxi industry when we thought that violence was something of the past.
Ubaba besebhizinisini lamateksi then wadutshulwa ngo-94. Mayidutshulwa ngo-94 ke baseyasala ke ubhuti wamaMbongiseni ngoba bekuyena omdala ngaleso sikhathi waqhubeka ke namateksi. Uthe mayiqhubeka namateksi ngo-96 bafika bezoshisa ekhaya la ikhumuzi wonke washa. Sasala singena ekhaya. Sahamba sihlala emizini yabantu. Babuya phansi ke kwasebenzeka erenkeni obhuti baqala phansi bakha umuzi. Sabuya ke ekhaya sahlala. Isilo ngoba nakhona ukuze kuthuleke isilo sabiza umhlangano yakhulunywa into yalunga. Kwabuyela kwahlalwa emakhaya. Beku 27 zakaMeyi kudutshulwe uMtshebe noThabo. UMtshebe ka 84, uThabo ka 88. Badutshulwe same day. Kwazi ngo 2010 kwadutshulwa uKhunde ngoka 85. Ngo 2015 kwadutshulwa ubhuti uMbongiseni. Ngo 2017 kwadutshulwa uMa yena obewugcina. Since ngoba baqala ngobaba ngo 94 bamdubula. And into esiphatha kabi ukuthi siyabanikeza uxolo. Since ngo 19 ngoba kulabo abantu abadutshulwayo nango 94 kunabo labo baba futhi abasathinteka ekufeni kababa nabo basekhona nala kulabo abantu abadutshulwayo namagani maba wapheli alokeveli. So into esiwarisha kakhulu ukuthi kuba bonke labantu abadutshulwayo uaction wenzeke kayi1 2009 konke la akwenzeki iaction wenzeke ngo2009 ngoba bekusaphethe ubabheka icele so sifuna uhulumeni asincede ezikwanongoma mhlawumbe inkinga izophuma nayo babheka icele abuye ezekwanongoma ezokwenza ushintsho ngoba nasekuqaleni walenza ushintsho kwathuleka kwanongoma. Sesiluze abaningi kwifamily yami ngenxa yodlame olwenzeka kwanongoma and lwenzeka kakhulu efamilini yakwaNkosi because wonke ngaso sonke isikhathi makudutshulwa abantu kwanongoma kusuke kudutshulwa umuntu wakwaNkosi and njengamanje into esiphatha kabi uma sikhala kudala sikhala ezikhulwini kodwa asizwakali. U-action lokhu wagcina ukwenzeka ngo2009 kuphethe ubaba ubheka icele because 2009 kwadutshulwa obhuti bami abawu2 ubaba ubheka icele wawenza u-action wavala irank after lapho kwathuleka kwanongoma then 2010 badubula umunye brother wami ukuthiwa ukhune waqhubeka bafuna uxolo baba basemateksini ukuthi ayikhulunywa lento sadide ukuthi bathi ayikhulunywe bekade exatshene nobani ukwenzakaleni yakhulunywa because bebathumela ubhuti wami uMbongiseni mangabe bafuna uxolo ubhuti abuya azosho ekhaya ukuthi badinga uxolo and then kwakhulunywa uxolo lwabakhona ubhuti wahamba obatshela ukuthi hayi ifamily ivumile uxolo siyabanika. After lapho ubhuti ekhulumile ngawo 2010 sazohlaselwa after kade kushona ukhunda sahlaselwa kangabo 7 ekseni saphinde sazohlaselwa ngabo October kwangabo 2 kwaze kwashiswa imoto kabhuti uSihluthu lapho noma ubesaqhokile ngaloso sikhathi inzilo yalo mfana wakho beshonile ngo2010. 2015 kwaba nokushintsha kwekomiti ke ofisini la kwanongoma ngo2010 makushintshwa ikomiti like uShemeni kwaba ubhuti wami uSihluthu waphatha ke from 2010 to 2015 that's why kube lapho ke ukuthuleke khona kwangafa umuntu ekhaya kusuka ngo2010 kwaze kwa2015 yingakho kunesikhathi esingaka kungafi umuntu ngoba eoffice bekuphethe ubhuti wami kwase kuyashintsha ukhetho kwabuyela labo baba ebabephethe ekuqaleni mabebuyela ngo2010 2015 kwashona ubhuti wami Mbongiseni edutshulelwa erenkeni kwanongoma kwangabo 2 emini.
There is a saturation in this particular mode of transport. Sometimes the figures may not be the way the provincial regulatory committee wanted them to be, but sometimes they are forced because if they don't issue, they may be faced with litigation, but if they issue, there may be a saturation or congestion in the mode of transport.
It is not a very comforting discussion to be part of, especially when there is loss of lives. Maybe I think for me to do justice is to express our sincere condolences to the families that have lost their loved ones, as well as the members of the public that are commuting within the minibus taxi industry, because this also poses a shock and a discomfort, as well as the employers that become affected when the employees are unable to reach their destinations at the time they are expected to do so.
Nje bekunzima kakhulu ngoba ngeweekend ya khona uma ekhona Friday obhuti bami babephuma ejele bekade beboshiwe for 2 years mabephuma sasijabulile yonke leyo weekend kukuhle kufika abangani babo bezobabona like Sunday kwakhona abaphuzayo baze behluleka ukuhamba base bethobhuti mabalali ngeMonday yakhona sebeyavuka ke bayahamba ngoba abaningi bebesebenzela khona erenkeni uma bekumele ayokwenza igrocery ngalo Monday usethu ma ngicela ningitshenele ocosa ukuthi mase behamba ngizogibela kubona nangempela obhucoso sabatshela ukuthi ningashiya umama ngabe senihamba uma geze aqede mangabe sebehamba obhucoso sebekhohliwe ukuthi uma uthe bangamshiyi like simemeza imoto ayibomelana uma ngoba uma imoto wayigibele egate sebemshiya wagibele egate wahamba bathe mabesendleleni eya edrobheni khona indawo ekuthiwa iKatepa ilapho ke ababehlaselwe khona abafica abantu bebalinde khona bezwa ngeinhlamvu badutshulwa and ithina besisekhanga loso sikhathi ngoba ngangihleli mina kwafika enye intombazane yangasekhaya tsena bapho but bakho kuthiwa kuyadutshulwa kwaTepa ngathi mina awu bathi le taxi ephuma la ekhaya sekunesikhathi ihambile hayi abafoma qhamuka ngiphume ngiye kwenye imoto ephuma edrobheni ngiyimisa ngithi ngicela ukubuza le monto okuthiwa iyadutshulwa kwaTepa awubonanga ukuthi mhlambe bengobani asho umfana athi bekuyimonto yakwaSangweni ngavele ngabona ukuthi bengoma ilapho engascreama khona ngamemeza obhuti ngathi uma sebedutshuliwe kwakubhlungu bhuti ngoba ayikho into enzima njengokuthi ushiwo uma ngalendlela ahamba ngayo ipain engazaze ngayikhohle because eTexini bebe 6 kwashona 5 lo yi1 ukhona akwancumala ubhuti.
Look, I think as the Gauteng Department of Roads and Transport, we are extremely concerned about the escalation in violence linked to the taxi industry. It's not just a problem in Gauteng. You've seen there have been shootings of several people in the Western Cape, in KZN, also in Mpumalanga. So this is not something that's peculiar to Gauteng. We are picking up a trend that's really in the major cities throughout the country. And it is a matter of very serious concern, both to national government and to the provincial government. It's for that reason that the National Minister of Police has set up a special taxi intervention unit of the police services. The Road Traffic Management Corporation has also set up a team that's looking at taxi violence. The Gauteng Traffic Police has set up a special intervention unit, and the South African Police Services in our province has also got a taxi intervention unit. So I think this indicates the gravity of the situation, the serious concern that we have. What is really of concern to us is the violent nature of this conflict. So disputes will arise in any highly contested industry or competitive industry. There will be disputes and there will be very stiff competition. But that should not translate into killings at taxi ranks, shooting at drivers that are supposedly working for you or for your association, or even your own members. I mean, why should that be the way in which the taxi industry wishes to resolve its disputes and differences? There are enough mechanisms, mediation, conciliation processes, discussions with the department or its officials to try and intervene and to resolve these conflicts. Why should it be that the first instance you pull the trigger?
When you don't have implementers, you will not be able to control the situation. And in this particular case, I must hasten to protect taxi leadership in various taxi associations in the country. We came up and with an agreed document again with government, which at that time, during 1996, 97, 98, 1998, we came up with a document which we say it is a the interim constitution of the industry. That was just to assist the industry in formulating a document which could tie them and sort of legalize them. Now, in that particular document, that document is very prescriptive when it comes to the discipline of each and every member of the taxi industry, including a member within the executive of the taxi industry. That document is very prescriptive to say how should you adhere yourself. And also it is very open to say that when you have transgressed, how should a sort of an independent within the organization, which means that people who are not in the executive would formulate what we call a disciplinary committee. There was a grievance committee, there was a disciplinary committee, and then the operator will go there. But in the document itself, it says that in an event the operator has behaved in such a way that he has brought the industry in disrepute, and I will indicate the ways. When the operator has involved himself in any violent manner, or the operator has disregarded the constitution of the association, or the operator is behaving in a manner in which is derogatory to the commuters he transports. That and further it says that that operator could lose his operating licenses.
Well, I think we have really two or three things. In some cases, it is really inter-organizational conflicts. So if you take Soweto between WATA and Nanduwe, there are two different organizations. They share certain routes, and that has led to conflict and tension, as has happened last year. And then, of course, we've had to shut down some of those ranks and close down some of those routes. Fortunately, there's some stability there. I'm told there's a bit of ongoing little tension, but it has not erupted into violence. In the case of the Greater Brakpan Taxi Association, it's really an internal dispute within the organization. It is alleged that some members of the association brought in illegal operators, and of course they brought in so many of them that they really started eating into the business of the traditional membership of the association, and that generated some sense of conflict and uneasiness. Of course, the police are investigating that particular matter, but the unfortunate result of that internal conflict has really been 4 people killed, 6 people injured. They are not government people, they are members or drivers of an existing association. Whether they are legal or not is a separate matter. But the point is this: why would you contract a security company as an association who then turns around and shoots at people who are supposedly working for your own owners?
And the NTTT document has been very clear on the citizens of South Africa who should be the people who participate in public transport and apply for operating licenses. It prohibited civil servants from being part of that. And with all sorts of new people coming into the offices in government, things have been changing in government, where you find that you have traffic cops, you have SAPS members, you have teachers, you have everybody who is a civil servant in the country who is suddenly now operating taxis. And that's where some of our problems emanated from in bigger cities like your Cape Town, your KwaZulu-Natal, your Gauteng, that there was an influx of taxis in the industry on different routes.
What can the president of Santaco say? What else can he say? Okay, this is a classic example of leadership trying to deflect and not take responsibility. As I indicated to you, Brakpan is one example. Yesterday it was at Ridgeveld. Again, a private security company allegedly contracted by the association shooting at aggrieved drivers. What has that got to do with government? What has it got to do with my officials or the police or about taxi licensing? If illegal operators are brought on by some elements within any association and they are now offering competition to their own members, and that leads to conflict, and then the security company is unleashed on those drivers, what has it got to do with government? Government's responsibility is to ensure that illegal operators are taken off the road. That's our responsibility. And government's responsibility is to issue valid licenses, operating licenses for taxi operators and for owners of taxis. But there's an application process. Everybody in the industry is familiar with the processes. It comes to us, it goes to municipality for concurrence, and then a license is either awarded or not awarded. But when people fight and use violence in general to an organization, it has actually very, very little to do with the department or the police.
Isikhalo sami ukuthi cela ubabheke icele afike kwaNongoma ezosinceda ngoba kunama case esiwavulayo epolice station kwaNongoma kodwa aphelele ezeni kungaqhubeka ukuthi kwenzakalani ngawo. Njengo okokuqala ngesikhathi amaphoyisa efikile abulala yonke into ekhaya, sahamba sayovula icase azange kwenzakale lutho emveni kwalapho kwathuleka. Sifuna ubaba Ramaphosa eze kwaNongoma azoxhumanisa umndeni wakwaNkosi kubizwe nalabo baba base office. Sifuna ukuzwa ukuthi ikuphi inkinga, kwenze njani. Sinembuzo esifuna ubaba Ramaphosa azosibuzela yona. Sikhona somndeni wakwaNkosi.
It's not well because of Mabatubulana or whatever they Babangama route. We don't become safe. Tubula driver, and then the car become obstructed, and then that they involved in an accident.
It's really tough. It's sad. I don't know how to put it, but I think the problem it's selfish or greedy by my taxi owners. Some you find unama taxi more than 10 or 15, and then ufuna ungena kuwonke ama routes. So I think yolonto cause this taxi violence thing.
For my point of view, I think abantu abasebenza under government, and I don't believe ukuthi kumele ba own ama business labo bantu labo, because already they earning a lot from the government, and if aqala abane business sakabheke izinto eziyi2 ngesikhathi esi1 and makasebenzele igovernment should usebenzele icommunity and uzoyiseva kanjani icommunity are busy at the other side. So for my point of view, angibona ukuthi kunesidingo se policeman ukuthi arane ibusiness, because uyirana kanjani ngapha obusiness community service.
Commuters at major taxi ranks in Johannesburg have been left with no choice but to miss a day of work.
No, I can't tell because somebody interested I see you. I have to be at work. So they must make the means to come and pick me up because I have to be at work.
So today most domestic people who work like to service your homes, nannies won't be coming to work.
One of them is nothing. There's no traffic, but they are driving very slow and then the traffic is packed.
Any sign of police? Earlier on, and it was on TV just a short while ago. What police seem to be doing is directing motorists to alternative routes instead of removing taxis that are blockading the main road.
Violence in this industry is far beyond the control of the administrators. Now, for criminal activities, administrators cannot do much. There is no capacity to deal with criminal activities. Now, when I'm talking about the administrators, I'm talking about the department, the staff within the Directorate, Registration and Monitoring. There is a serious problem of capacity and also competency. We are not trained to deal with criminals because criminals seize the opportunity and do what they do best.
I'm hoping that the hearings will give us enough evidence to make an informed decision related to the Section 91 notice. In other words, that I will have the necessary valid information to make an informed choice about whether I should be closing any routes or ranks, or whether the warring factions have found each other or not. And because obviously the last thing I want to do is to disrupt the lives of our commuters.
This issue emanates from the Wynberg route. So that is a source of conflict, and apparently it's between the drivers. And we called on them that as owners of these taxis, they must come to the fore and really to be on the ground and help to resolve the problem.
I must, with a very sadly heart, give the industry condolences to that family. They've gone through hardship, and we don't believe that they deserve that, especially when families were in protection units and they still got killed. It says to you that something is wrong with our police system in the country, where you are giving privileged information to the police. And I can only say to them that we pray for them to become much more stronger. We don't want them to forget their families and the way their families died, but we believe that at one stage, through God, they will find solace to what has happened to them. It is not in the nature of the taxi industry that we would want to see people getting poor, that we would want to see people dying. So we are very sorry